Welcome back to a brand new episode of Gen Z BTC. It's me, Satoshi Guapamoto, your favorite Bitcoin educator in the space. And today, this is my official price prediction. Okay. Bitcoin is going to 500,000. That's 500 big ones. That's a lot of guap. That's a lot of Guapamoto. 100%. It's going to this number before the end of the 2025 bull run, okay? I am right 100% of the time, 99% of the time, okay? So this is not financial advice. Don't cope if something comes up, right? And then this doesn't happen, but this is gonna happen, all right? And then you're all gonna come back and be like, whoa, he told me so. Whoa, he told me so. That guy's different. Oh, he's so different. Yes, I know. Let me go over my thesis for why this is happening. One, Bitcoin halving. We had the halving. That means that Bitcoin got, the daily amount of Bitcoin made got cut in half, right? That means it's twice as rare, right? Miners are through capitulating. They're done selling. That means that there's less Bitcoin on the market. More people are becoming forever Bitcoiners. All right. They're not selling their Bitcoin. And if they are selling, they're not selling until ludicrous prices. Right. So right now the miners are seeing a comeback. They're expanding their operations. Mining, the hash rate is at an all-time high. Bitcoin on exchanges is at an all-time low. We're not even in the bull market yet, and Bitcoin is at an all-time low on exchanges because more people are taking self-custody. They're holding their own keys, and typically when they hold their own keys, they plan to hold them for a long time. You bring them to an exchange when you're ready to sell for fiat, but a lot of people are not switching out of Bitcoin to fiat. They're just holding their Bitcoin because they understand this is the hardest asset ever. Why would I sell my finite thing for something that can be printed infinitely? I'm just saying. So that's what's happening. Number two, institutions. 2024 was the year of institutional adoption. Okay. We had the ETFs come in. We had pensions funds. We had sovereign wealth funds. We had hedge funds. We had asset managers. We had corporations. We had universities. All these different, even entire countries. Entire countries are mining and buying Bitcoin. This was the year when everything flipped. When Bitcoin was truly legitimized. Right? It's become too big to fail. The big dogs are here. And here's the thing. BlackRock, they're eating all your Bitcoin. BlackRock wants to own a piece of everything in the world, and they're buying all of their Bitcoin. They're buying all your Bitcoin. There will not be any left for you. You will be a normie with no coins, and you will have to work for Satoshis. Right now, I can buy 50,000 Satoshis for about like $40. You will have to work an hourly Satoshi wage. The same way right now, you get $30 an hour. You will work for 30 Satoshis an hour. I'm just saying. Liquidity. And by the way, that's many years off. That's not going to happen next year. You're not going to work for Satoshis in a year. You're going to work for Satoshis in 2040. Anyways, liquidity. Global liquidity going up. Interest rates all over the world are being cut. Liquidity everywhere is going up. The velocity of money is going up. The business cycle. Right now we're at the uptrend of the business cycle. That's going up. The election's right around the corner. After the election is over, there's a lot more stability in the market. That ties into uncertainty. I'll touch on that in a minute. But typically up until an election, during that lead up, liquidity is always increased because they want people to feel like, maybe the economy isn't so bad after all. That's why inflation is cooled down to 2% currently because they have an election coming up. That always happens every election. But guess what? Inflation is cooled down to 2%. That just means that now things are only going up at 2% per year. And do you really think that's true? Do you really think that the government is telling the truth about the inflation numbers, given how upset people seem to be about it? I don't know. I always listen to the government. I love them so much. I mean, I'm just saying. Now, here's the things I didn't touch on in my last video. FOMO. Fear of missing out. Ooh, the FOMO is going to hit different. They're going to be asking you, your cousins, your uncles, your nieces, your babies. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, where do I buy Bitcoin? Where do I buy Bitcoin? I saw it on CNN. I saw them talking about it on Inside Edition. I saw him talking about Bitcoin on Inside Edition. I saw a celebrity talking about Bitcoin on TMZ. I saw him talking about it on TMZ. Where about Bitcoin at? All of a sudden, now everybody want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Maybe you brought it up one time a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? You was telling people, hey, this is a very interesting protocol. And I feel like this is a good way for us to preserve our wealth and elevate ourselves. So maybe we should look into this thing because a lot of rich people are buying it. And they're like, man, you know what you're talking about, bro. You know what you're talking about, man. And now all of a sudden they're asking you questions. The FOMO will be crazy because they're going to see other people getting so many bans, right? Now they're like, oh, wait, I want to get bans too. I want to get bans too. Bitcoin's not about getting bans, just so you know. But this is the marketing. This is Bitcoin's marketing tool. It has no marketing team. This is the marketing team. Now all of a sudden everybody want to talk about it. Oh, if 500K? If I only had one, I could have $500,000. Wasn't it like 16K like a year ago? Oh my God. Oh, it's too late. It's never too late. But this is the feeling that they're going to have. They're going to have a fear of missing out, and they're going to come with all their money. They're just going to throw it in there. They're not knowing what they're doing. A lot of them are going to go broke. They're going to go broke. They're going to cry. They're going to lose all their coins. They're going to lose all their Bitcoin, and they're going to leave Bitcoin for like another 4 years, and they're going to come back again like idiots. But that's just part of the cycle. We have to try to help these people. We have to tell them, hey, look, little bruh, calm down. This is what you need to do. You put your keys on a hardware wallet. We have to educate people. But the FOMO will pump the price. Bonds. No one puts their money in bonds, right? Unless you're really old, or if you're a young person putting money in bonds, maybe you are just like mentally challenged. I don't know, right? But overall, the interest rates are coming down, which means less people are going to put money in bonds because the yield on the bonds is going down, right? The bond market already sucks. It's suffering. And now the buyer of last resort, the Fed, is going to come in, print money, and buy bonds because nobody else wants this toxic sludge garbage. No one wants U.S. treasuries. All other countries are basically dumping them because it's a melting ice cube. Nobody wants that garbage. So bond market is going to shrink. Some of that wealth is going to transfer into Bitcoin because as BlackRock and Vanguard and VanEck and Fidelity go on their Bitcoin advertising crusade, a couple of these people who are big dogs, right, who have big accounts, who are a little bit older perhaps, they're going to invest a portion of their portfolio into Bitcoin, right? They're going to move from bonds, which are losing money every year due to inflation because they don't beat the cost of capital, right? They're going to move from bonds into Bitcoin so that they can actually start making money and not getting poorer. AI is going to have a big impact on Bitcoin because it affects the efficiency of Bitcoin mining. It affects the hash rate, how quickly they can hash. And two, it gives Bitcoin miners, it gives Bitcoin miners another alternative route to generating income, right? So look up Core Scientific, see how they're turning their Bitcoin mining facilities into AI cloud data centers whenever they are not hashing. Look up how AI is just rapidly increasing the productivity of all these chip manufacturers like NVIDIA. That's why their stock price is going up so much. We're going to continue to see AI create hyper efficiency, and AI correlates with Bitcoin because when AIs do start to accept money, we're going to see the robo-taxi revealed by Elon Musk pretty soon. Most likely, right? It starts with dollars, but there's going to come a point where the AI wants a currency that is not biased, right? And it wants a digital currency. What digital currency would the AI want? The AI is not going to want US dollars. The AI is going to want Bitcoin. Because if you go based purely off the facts, that makes the most sense. The AI would want something that is scarce, desirable, immutable, not controlled by any other centralized authority, and is quickly transactable and verifiable. The AI will be using Bitcoin. Right. So this has a massive impact. This cannot be understated. This is going to have a lot of different roles to play in this entire thing. But AI has a direct link with Bitcoin because of the digital nature of the protocol, right? And the network. And then finally, uncertainty, right? Going back to the election, the reason why markets don't really pump up until the election is because they're waiting to see what's going to happen. Who's going to win? Will we see civil unrest? What are the policies of this new person going to be? What are they going to do on day one, right? After the election's over, okay, all the uncertainty is gone. Now the market can pump and breathe a sigh of relief because they were just stressing out for the last 9 months leading up to the decision, right? Leading up to the vote count. It doesn't really matter who wins. Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. They're literally idiots. They're literally idiots, and they also don't run the country. If you don't understand that, you have like an insane amount of research to do. But they don't run the country anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Their impact on Bitcoin is going to be very small, unless they were to do something extremely stupid, like try to ban Bitcoin in the United States, which, again, not possible just because it's gotten too big to fail. And also, the decentralized nature of Bitcoin makes it impossible to stop. Otherwise, they would have already stopped it. It's gotten too big at this point. So once that uncertainty in the market is cleared up in the election, there's still a little bit of uncertainty when it comes to a recession, right? Some people might be fearful because rates are being cut. They foresee something bad happening in the market because typically a rate cut is meant to dampen the impact of whatever bad thing is coming down the road, right? So there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. Sometimes that uncertainty is going to flow into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is not only a risk on asset, but it also operates as a risk off asset. It's going to be a flight to safety for many people who want to try to preserve their purchasing power, especially as the Fed gets ready to print more money, because most likely they're going to have to start buying bonds because nobody wants that toxic sludge, right? So there's a lot of uncertainty, and with uncertainty comes a flow into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is one of the most certain things that you can invest in when it comes to avoiding counterparty risk, for ensuring the future of the protocol, right? The monetary future of the protocol is already written out. We already know how many Bitcoin there's going to be in 2030, in 2034, in 2090, right? We already know this. There's a lot of certainty surrounding Bitcoin. The only uncertainty comes when humans are involved in the protocol, whether they're trying to fork it or trying to ban it. That's where some of the uncertainty comes from. But as we get more institutional adoption, as we get better regulation, as we get better legal framework, that uncertainty around the protocol and how it will interact with humans in the future becomes less and less blurry, and we get a more clear vision of what we're looking at in the future, right? So all these things being said, Bitcoin is going to 500,000 before the end of 2025. So come back to this video. Tell me if I am a retardo. Tell me if I'm a genius. Tell me if I was close, but no cigar. And I will see you on the next video. This has been Gen Z BTC. Stack sats or die trying.